Ma'am?
I can hear you.
Okay, 1 second, please.
Do you want me to get set up or?
No, ma'am, I can do it. You can relax.
All right, I'm already set. Up to you.
Okay, my apologies. Okay, so let's get a summary of what happened on Friday. And as
Are
you can see,
we?
huh?
Hello?
Yes? Can
Is
you
that,
hear me? Can you hear me?
is that you or me?
I thought I was doing everything.
Who's playing the music, Elisa?
There's no music.
You can't hear that?
Uh, Baja eso. How about
Yo
now?
me diga, yo,
How about now? Do you hear the music?
de arriba.
I'm not hearing anything now. I've turned everything off.
Now you turned it off.
Okay.
Ah, yo
Sorry.
me diga,
So,
señor.
all right. So let's get a little summary of what happened on Friday. As you can see, all of the major indexes were green except for the VIX. Um, all were higher than 1%, so they were extremely strong. This one rounded about to $1, the Dow Jones, I mean 1%. The S&P 500 close to $1.50. I mean, sorry, 1% and 50. NASDAQ close to 2%, and the Russell 1%, roughly. And the VIX is going cray cray every single day. It just goes really volatile. This thing's negative 7.33, so close to $14 at the moment. Okay, and for tomorrow, things are not looking great. At the moment, everything's kind of going, there's a little pullback, which is expected because everything was so strong on Friday. But this will probably turn around because, as you can see, it's not that much. It's only like a quarter of a percent. And usually on Mondays, you get a really stronger push to begin the trading week. Gold, positive, platinum, copper, all of these things are on the upside. Okay, so that's that. That's that. And now we will go to our favorite part. Okay. So as I was saying, most of the market tickers were very green, very strong. Close the top winners were close to 4%, actually closer to 5%. This one, AMD 4.75 was the winner. And if you can see my little chartity chart at a 1 minute. Man, this thing is nuts. Come on. Why is it not working? Basically, if you got into AMD at the beginning of the day and close your eyes and then open it at 4 o'clock, you would have had a lot of dinero. So it was just an open till the open to the end, and you would have been fine. ASML, very similar, but let's look at the daily. So this is very bullish since hitting this area right here, this 95 area, 950. It has made a turnaround and just been going up every day. It's here at a level of resistance, but this was a big flag, big bull candle. I anticipate with the chips and everything, I think it's going to continue and it's probably going to get to this high, which is around 131. So um, it may do a little pullback tomorrow, but I think it's going to continue this trend. And it is above the 50 and it is above the 200. And looking at this little area, I think it's going to turn around. No need to go over ASML. It's probably the same thing. Dashi has been having some interesting days. Um, After this big gap up in earnings, it has been going downward. It went up and now downward, but I think it's still gonna be up. It's still above the 50 and 200. I'm not sure if it's gonna it could potentially fill this gap at some point, but I think with the Santa Claus rally and this being a tech stock, I think it's gonna push up as well. NVDA going along with the chips. I would say same thing. They're going to keep pushing the AI narrative until they, grind it to the ground, especially at the end of this year, and trying to close out on a good footing. It's probably going to do the same thing as NVIDIA. It's already hitting the ultimate highs. So, in 2 days or even tomorrow, this thing moves about $15 a day, and it could already get to this high. So, it could have a resistance here for a little bit, but then it could push outwards. So that's something to keep in mind, that for the Santa Claus rally and keeping the AI narrative strong until, there's nothing else more to talk about, it could potentially uh, get this going and pass it. And then that's when you really want to pay attention, because it's going to be really extra. And then after the holidays, of course, people want to get their money. Intel, we're watching this because somebody wants to buy this. Somebody wants to buy it at 32. I don't think it's gonna get there, but if it could get back to 36, that's a really good area to buy it at the moment, unless it does a big drop. But I don't think you can go wrong now with the stock and the chips, especially this one, which is having government backing and the whole like kind of backing this up kind of thing. So yeah, again, you close your eyes and boom, at the end of the day, you will have done very well for the chips. So all of these chips, ASML, AMD, NVIDIA, basically it was Chip Friday. Again, following Uber, the same thing with as we looked at Dash. It was just basically a very strong, you can see that if you bought it here, got out here, maybe shorter for a little bit, it would have been boring after you done this because it would just kind of stay flat. But basically, the first hour would have been a perfect hour to get your money and run. Netflix, this has been doing very well. I think it got an upgrade or something, or they were talking about this on Friday, pushing it. So you can even see that even in the post market now, it's still kind of strong.
Yes, I think the new price is 480.
Yes. So there was like an upgrade or something or a price target. So and then also I think the strike has weighed and they made an agreement. So yes, I could potentially see this going here to this level, which is the level that we kind of always been observing, and even 500. So yeah, if you jump on this, I don't blame you at all. Look, it has been very bullish, very bullish. Softy pants. Ooh, 2%. Yeah, I thought this was gonna go down, but I was proven wrong. Now this is at the ultimate high. So this is ultimate highs of all time. You may want to keep a note on this, folks. Hint, hint, nod, nod, because this can't stay up here forever, of course. I do anticipate that it could get up to 400 if this rally continues. So, it could reject this for a little bit, go down, but this is very, very strong.
Can you zoom out?
Yes, ma'am. If this will let me,
Let's
yes.
see some history.
Come on. Stop being a. So yeah, this is
It's the
it
same
already.
principle, yeah.
So it surpassed the ultimate high. This is the second time. So it's a higher than this. You know, this was the ultimate high, then it reached this high. Now this is the third time or fourth time it has gone out here. Well, in the year, this is the third time. So I wouldn't discriminate this 380 as a
Sure,
target.
after the holidays.
Yes. I think it could go up to this 380 or more. So, but you want to keep an eye on it, and maybe we have a few shares if you're potentially trying to do a short on this, because it's just being extra now, you know. But that's how it's looking like. So you may want to put that on the notes to keep an eye on Softy and obviously on Meta as well. So let's take a look at Meta. So I think, it has like this range for a really long time. Since August, it hasn't broken this area. It has just been from here to here. I think if tomorrow this area breaks, Leanna's gonna get her way and it's gonna go to 350. I think it's gonna get there because it's just gonna get there, So here's a third mountain. One, two is gonna create, it's right here. It could break this out. It could do a breakout and get to this area that we had identified, which is 345. 345, 350. If all the tech stops continue this rally, 350, and that's when you really want to grab a little bit to see for a potential short. Sana, this thing has been a rocket star. Obviously hasn't, we thought that it was going to continue to go down. So this mountain down, this mountain down, this mountain down. So now it's above this mountain. So it's very bullish. It could get to 190 tomorrow or in the next 2 days. Could have a little pullback or even this week. Then the next area really is 196 to 200. They want to end the year strong. As always, for all these fund managers that were losing money, and hey, they bought at this dip, so they're just charging up so that their clients are happy. So that, this is what they're doing. So Amazon. Oh, I skipped Tesla. So Tesla, not as strong as the other ones. As you can see, it has been very weak. All the mountains have been lower. And even this mountain, you can see the difference between this and Apple. Apple picked up and had a zoom V up, not this. Basically, it just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting lower and lower. It did have a positive day on Friday, but Rivian was a catastrophe as well. So, all the EV space is not looking that good at the moment. Notice that for this tech stock, both of it is still below the 50, still below the 200 line. I think it's going to continue to go down, but maybe it'll stay hovering around here. But this is another area of support. The next area here is, 168, or, get back up here, but it has to have like a really great momentum upward to get up here. And notice the gap is down and it is curving down instead of going up like the other tech stocks. Zoni. So yeah, this same thing as almost Mansana and the other tech stock. It's just like riveting up. And this will continue to go up, especially for the holidays. People are gonna go cray and get, all the toys that the kids want, because you have to get them what they want and what they desire, instead of just getting them books and stuff like that, getting them the VR headsets and yada, yada, yada. So the next area that I see here is this 150 or so, then 160. So let's see what the tech stock momentum does. But the Santa Claus rally is on. This is very good. Trend is upward, even above here. So above the 50, above the 200. I anticipate, you know, this moves three. I anticipate that'll get to 150 at least in this week, I think. We can skip Starbucks for now. Let's look at the famous Boeing. It looks like it's doing a pick me up. The trend is still going down, so that's something to be wary about. And this thing hasn't had the greatest financials. So you can see that, it hasn't been doing well overall, but it has done worse, of course, down here. That's the price that you want to get it at. Obviously, this is another area, 164. It did a round turner here around 180. The trend is going down. So let's see if it gets down here. And if it breaks this area and definitely goes here, that's the area that you want to buy, definitely to see. But we'll see what happens. I think, with the Thanksgiving holidays, this could move a little bit, bring the airlines up, hopefully. And let's look at the minute chart. It bounced around here. It was very wobbly. It did a downturn, and then it did a pick me up around 130 or so. CRM we can skip. The Google. Wow, this was interesting. So Google, you had many chances to get up here. Basically, if you bought it here at the beginning of the day, and also if you got some more around 11 o'clock, it would have been great. So you had two opportunities to get the long here because this was a fabuloso day also for Google. Walgreens has been hit.
How does it look on the daily?
A good question.
Because I remember it being kind of weak compared to the others.
Yes, so this one hasn't been as strong as a narrative. This one's still below the 50. It has done a V, but the other ones are very violently going up. This one has been taking its time. And it has this big gap down. It already filled this mini gap. And there was another gap here, but you can see it's gonna fill it. So if you get it tomorrow, and this has momentum from the other stocks, I can see that it would fill actually this gap. I wouldn't argue with you that it would get to this 140, especially for the Santa Claus rally, but I think it's gonna take more time than the others. Let's because I think Google overall did have good earnings, but they were just not getting down. I don't know for some reason. Um, okay, so you can see the trend is still up. The 200, it is still above still below the 50, but it's gonna get there if the things continue being green overall, and it's already filling the gap. And reviewing the earnings, earnings were very good. They weren't even bad at all. So they was just trying to knock it down.
This
And
is what yes, earnings you say were good. I'm not gonna disagree with you. But compared to the others in the sector, they it seemed as if they didn't do as well, if I remember correctly. They were like
there was
single
something with the
digits.
there was something with the sales or something or the revenue.
Yes, I didn't think it did. It did single digits, 6% over for earnings. Um, and so I thought it was a little bit not as good as others, but yes, it did. It did beat estimates.
Okay. Walgreens, I have this here. As you can see, this thing it's been in Gutterville. Just wanted to show you that, but it did pick up a little bit on Friday. But if you've been shorting this since 2023, you've been doing well. But if you have been going long on this since 2023, you've been doing really bad, which is opposite of what everything else has been doing. Everything has been going up, and Walgreens has been going down. Very interesting chart. Taco, we can just look at it briefly. It has been going down. It's at 198 at the moment, and it's still going down. Trend is down. I think it's still kind of expensive.
It
We
took a
had,
million years, but it got down there.
I think it's still going to continue.
Oh yes, definitely. But
I
it's
think it's
just
going to continue.
it's
Maybe, maybe get here first, before it does a breakdown, before COVID or whatever. But we could be wrong because inflation. But I think it's still going to go down, at least get down here to this 180 price or so. Uh, Somebody had in the notes for this, short any pops, and I agree to that theory. Look at this up
please.
here,
There's no pop.
down here. Okay, somebody said short the pops. Let's continue
What
with that
pop?
note. Somebody said short some
What
pops.
pops? What pops? There's no pops really.
The pop is above two
That's
dollars. So there's the pop.
that 250, 255. I guess that was a pop.
Anytime it's above $2, it's considered a pop at this moment. Okay. All right. So, use your judgment. Roku? No, sorry, BJ's. BJ's had, I guess, an eye day. A buck almost 1.50%. We haven't traded this in a minute. I think it will do a little pick me up for the holidays. It usually does very well for the holidays. People eat a lot. They get a lot of stuff from BJ's. So in bulk, getting a lot of comida. So I wouldn't deny that this would do well. And also it has earnings, I believe, on Friday morning. You may wanna put that on the notes for a watch because it does have earnings for. Let's look at Walmart. We have been eyeing this every single day. Somebody wants to keep a close eye. Our friend Walmart has hit the 52-week high again, went down, and then it went back up. I think it's going to continue to go up. And that's what we want to keep a good side eye on it because we want to jump on this Gumata and short it for a little bit because, it has to go. Somebody's going to take profit, at the end of the year, maybe as well. If they've been holding this since April of 2022 and they still have it at the end of the year, there may be some profit taking. That's all I'm saying. And so you may want to just always watch every day for this because it's at the ultimate 52-week high. Target 108.25. It's in contrast to Walmart, this has been going down. So Target is not being managed well. They're losing a lot of dinero. The record is not doing well. It's been bouncing around here. Even with the holiday, I don't anticipate that this is going to go greatly up because the chart is telling us that it's not doing well. It's barely keeping itself afloat. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down, down, down. Okay, Home Depot. I'm going to skip Visa. Home Depot has earnings this week. I forgot what dia it is. Oh, in 2 days. So Tuesday, right? It's gone into this 291 level. So it went down. This was the opportunity. If somebody was paying attention to our lines, if somebody got some here, good for you. You could sell it up here. It's going to gap down. We like it down here or below. Don't rush this. This is an expensive stock. It is winter. Let's see how it does on Tuesday. If this thing has crappy earnings, you can just wait for that waterfall. If it has decent, I think it's gonna go up, maybe shoot up a little bit, but if it has not so great earnings, with the housing crisis, mini crisis, or whatever, you can see that this may affect a lot of things and move a little bit of the market, at least on the Dow Jones side. Meaty, okay. Let's look at this for a second. It's just hovering out here, but this is Gutterville. I like to get it at 7. Lucid. I think this has earnings as well. Oh no, it's gonna have earnings in 101 days. Already passed. This is not doing well. EVs are not doing well. Rivian is not doing well either. I'm sorry for the EVs at the moment, but not sorry also. XOM had a decent day, 0.91%. It wasn't negative, but you can see the trend is still going down. Somebody was very right about this, that in the wintertime, they tend to lose dinero, go down. It's a cyclical uh, event. And, last year was different, but this year looks like it's catching back to its old ways. And let's see what happens if there's a dividend date here. So if they have their dividend or whatever, that also can affect it a little bit. Oh, our friend Azo, you can see it had a big gap or something up. Uh, you know. Oh, that's Fresh Pet. Fresh Pet, but hopefully it starts going down again. It's not a really good one. Wafy, um, thank you. Thank you, Wayfi. It had good earnings or whatever, hopefully, cough, cough. But it's starting to go back to its old ways. I do anticipate that it's gonna get back here to the price that I got it, and I can just KAT or just wait until it falls to $2. Square, DraftKings. I heard Michael Noss talk great things about this, Leanna. He thinks this is gonna continue to go up, uppity, up, up, up.
Well, I needed to.
So I just
When
wanted to.
was this?
I was listening to him this morning, and he thinks this is a good buying opportunity for DraftKings, and he thinks it's gonna do well and gonna continue to go up. And notice there's no area of support. The next area of support is up here.
So maybe I'll average it. I'll tell you this, Elisa.
If I can find the video,
Find
if
it.
we, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put it because he did say, and I paid attention, and I was like, I gotta tell my friend this because, and it also has a U shape. And as you had
I
mentioned
think
before,
this thing about the same thing I think about Intel, I feel about DraftKings, but a little bit stronger because as I've noticed as states open up gambling, DraftKings has gotten stronger and stronger. And I feel it's going to take over second it's currently in second place with what's the other one? I forget the name. But DraftKings in second place. And
Foundle,
huh?
Foundle, Foundle,
No.
Foundle.
No. Um and so I feel that DraftKings will be taking over shares from the current first place uh fantasy slash whatever this is, a sports gambling company. And
I Go ahead. Sorry for
keep
interrupting you.
going, keep going.
No, I think you're right. I was kind of like iffy, but after thinking about this and listening to you a couple of times, and then listening to him, and then listening to you again, I think you're right. People can't help themselves. They like to watch juegos and they like to bet. And just observing a few folks,
Well,
aka
the
people
reason
people that
DraftKings
I
second,
know.
is in
Go ahead.
second place, Elisa, and the reason why I think it's going to take more share from the other company that's in first place is
F
because,
Foundle.
huh?
I think it starts with an F.
Okay.
Hmm.
It's because if we go on the CNBC, we'll see it. It's
Mm.
because DraftKings is making moves, and it's a lot, from my perspective, fair with the bets with people. And I think people are going to come to DraftKings. And once you start with DraftKings, I don't see why you would change. Yes, the app's a little bit slow, you're right. But I feel that you got DS Minutos. I feel that it's just um it's just set up to take over and where it's based out in Boston, all of that. I just think it's set up to be um the leader. Oh, there we go. You just passed it. Keep going back. Yeah, keep going though to the beginning. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There we go.
That's Bitcoin.
Elisa, just go. Stop. You passed it.
What the heck? I can't see. Did I
Stop.
pass it? Wait, right
Go
there.
back, go back, go back. Stop. Go back a little bit. Now. Just stop now. Stop. Stop going. Just stop.
Okay.
That's
Anyway,
it.
let me finish this thing and then we can hear it.
Mhm.
Okay. Like I said, Rivian uh has been going against the trend of and actually going with the trend with Tesla going down.
Eight
Let's
and
look
a
at
half
ED.
minutes.
Yes, EBC. Just wait for it. Like I said before, Dickies. Oh, Bank of America. Okay. Bank of America. Stronger than EBC. If you still want to wait for the price, just wait for the price. Let me look at American real quick. I've been making money on this almost every day. I'm losing at $80 now, but hopefully it picks back up. I have 350 shares. I keep buying like little dips and just, kept getting in and out. Even if I don't get the best price, I just make a few best pesos here and there. McDonald's. I say any dip, just buy and get a little bit and start learning more about this graphical. I'm gonna put that on the notes. I'm just gonna get one share and start observing. This thing is very strong. I think it's a good one. There's no stopping kids on this. It's just you can't go wrong. And then the losers of the day. Thank you, Carvana, for losing. I also made money on you, and I will have you on my thoughts tomorrow. So can you put that on the notes so I won't forget? My Vana, I always make money on this. It's one of my favorite stocks of all time. And just any pops, you just jump on this and you'll be fine. Nikete is doing a little pullback. So if you want to jump on this a little bit, you can, because it also has been going up. There's an area of support right here. It's already kind of in it, and it's going to do like a little low. Maybe it'll get back here, and then pick back up for the Santa Claus rally. And like I said, Vana. Okay, so now because we only have a few minutes left, let's listen to the Nas boss.
Scale and write down the caps. In the SP 500, you probably heard of MDY here. This is our mid caps, so not quite the little guys, but between $2 and $10 billion market cap. Might be early to call, but we have a potential inverse head and shoulders going on here, which this catching up to the S&P 500 would be very good. Now, I say this all the time, that in bear markets, you have the weaker names dragging down the stronger names. But in bull markets, which we're in now, you have the stronger names pulling up the weaker names. And that may be what's going on here with these other caps, right? If we go a little further down the cap scale, you'll see a little more weakness. This is what I want to see can kind of help us out here. So this is IWN. This is a small cap. This is under $2 billion. Again, still having a hard time. If we go to IWC, right, this is the micro caps. And again, still the same problem. So where you want to focus, and you'll see the list that I'm going to show you guys, you kind of want to focus a little bigger cap right now. What I'm looking at is I'm looking at stocks that didn't care about the pullback, that were strong going into that pullback. Those are the guys that I'm interested in buying because I think they will lead our way out of this. Now, you cannot be remiss if you see anyone do a weekly analysis and they do not bring up the fact that we made a all-time closing weekly high on XLK, which is the technology fund. You gotta talk about that. That's certainly not bearish. Anyone who's talked about, oh, it's a bear
I found
market and
DraftKings over
everything's
here,
bad,
Leanna.
that can't be bearish. That we've Not too sure what these didn't on the weekly chart. So here on the daily, looking really, really good. With this $600 break, could be a breakout of this tight little bull flag. We also have DraftKings that did so well on earnings. Massive push up on earnings, and now has been pulling back for 3 days in a row. Little inside day today. So if we can get going over the last 2 days high right here, I'm very interested in getting involved in DraftKings. VRT.
So that was a very short thing, but because I was listening to most of it, what he was basically saying regarding anything that he said that he liked is that they've been kind of stronger than the market, and he anticipates that it's going to continue to go up. So that's why I brought DraftKings up, and I wanted to keep it on the radar
Is
for
that all he said?
he didn't say much, but basically what he's saying is he's gonna buy any dip on this because the earnings were strong, and this bull flag is going along with his narrative that is stronger than anticipated in the market, and it's gonna continue to go up. It's gonna do a breakout.
Okay.
And that's why I wanted to kind of bring it up. This was a really good video that he does.
I'll listen to it.
I used to, like I said, I used to be discriminatory, but I love the guy now.
Yeah, I like him. It's just like
I like him too. He's very good, and I signed up for his thing so we could get a watch list. So not only will we get a watch list from the bozos, but we'll get his watch list and learn even more about other additional tickers that we're not even aware about, or other indices that are really kind of important if you're in a particular sector, to kind of get an overview. So that's why when I was listening to him, like, I think we should do that too. So that's what I wanted to kind of say. And we only have 2 minutes left. Let me see if I could, do you want to listen to him a little bit more, or do you want me to look at other articles, or we can just listen?
Whatever you want to do. You only have like 3 minutes or something left.
All right, let's listen to him a little bit more. The heck is going on over here? Sorry, having technical difficulties.
Not too sure what these guys do, but really strong base. Just a nice high base on this name. Has been crazy strong, has already doubled from here, and just holding really, really high on VRT. Last but not least, I know I talk about this one a lot, but every trade I've had on this so far this year has been great, so I'm going to continue to go back to that well as long as it feeds me. UEC is battling this level. You can see all the bottoming tails. So every time it kind of pulls under this 550-ish area intraday, there's some buying going on. So if we can break these cluster of highs right here, then I'm interested in getting involved in UEC, again, assuming uranium is playing out and pushing higher the way that I think it is. So that's it. A lot of charts. 16 minutes. Actually, not bad. So thank you guys for the comments. Thank you guys for the sharing. Kind of love all that stuff. And again, sign up for the email list. That's daytrading.com. I will see you next week, and get away from the screens.
Check out the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, the new watch.
Okay, so that was a little, I know it wasn't that much regarding to the DraftKings, but I did want to kind of just reiterate that I think you should hold on to what you have and kind of like have high hopes on it. Like you said, people can't help themselves. They like to gamble, and they like to make money on gambling. So let me see if there are any noticias here that we can we have a minute left that we can briefly look at. Oh, let me look at how the Asian markets are doing.
Thank you. And have a good evening.
Have a good evening, ma'am. Let's see. Charts show chart difference between different constant. 16 reasons why. Anyway, have a good day or night, and I will talk to you mañana.
Peace.